successful. And those patients, which are pretty rare, that I'm like, no, you need a facelift. I don't even want to do it, right? Because I want the patient to be happy. I'm not going to set myself up for no success. I want to set myself up for success and the patient for success. So on rare occasions, I've said, you got to have a facelift. On the flip side, there's people who are definitely facelift candidates that can't have facelifts, have it be a heart problem, or they can't go under anesthesia. And so then I get the lovely task of doing that with all my injectables and threads, which is, you're not going to get as good a result as a facelift, but you're going to get pretty darn close.
That's good to know, because facelifts scare the hell out of me, but that's just me.
So scary, because it's like, sometimes temporary is a good thing. Like, what if you're botched? With threads, we just fix it. With a facelift, you're like, the skin is actually gone.
Yeah. And you could call Dr. Terry Dubrow and go on botched, I guess, but it's a little scary to me, like just when you see certain things.
So scary. And it's like, oh my gosh, I've seen some horrific facelifts, all the scarring here, the scars, like I'm like, where did you go? Okay, like discount facelifts are us. Like, no, please don't skimp on your face. Please.
Who do you think looks out of your castmates like really good? Like, who has had good work or good injectables out of these castmates of yours?
Well, I wish they showed everything, because I actually got to treat Gina and Emily on film at the beginning of the season, which was lovely. So I think Gina looks good. I think that Emily, I did a bunch of dissolving on her and then put it back in the right spots, and she looked amazing. But I think she's now gone back and gotten more injectables somewhere else, which is great. People magazine picked it up, and Shane said that's the best she'd ever looked, and I agree, because it was just taking it all down. Sometimes people don't need the injections; they need to take out the injections and then have it done right. So that was great. I think Heather looks great. I'd like to Botox her lower face, but besides that, I think she looks amazing. It's hard to believe, like, she looks, for her age, I mean, she looks amazing. Her jawline is like super tight, which is awesome. But she's got all the goods too. So I'm happy for her.
What does Botoxing, like if you were to Botox Heather's lower face, like what does Botoxing the lower face do?
I do see how I can't frown.
Yeah.
Like right here. A lot of people forget to do that part.
Never had it there.
Like the whole face, and I'm not saying her, but the whole face is frozen except for like this pulls down. And so you have to get all the muscles. You have to do the whole thing. Or you'll see people who will do the upper face and just the nose moves. And you're like, that looks so weird. Like your whole face doesn't move except your nose. Like, what is that?
You are giving me more things to think about. But when I'm in Orange County next, I'll have to stop by and see you, because I have my very own Dr. Jen here, but I'm in New York, but when I'm in Orange County, I'll have to stop by and see you.
So to answer your question, I think Heather probably looks the best. She looks the most natural out of everybody, followed probably by Gina. I think she looks really good too.
What about Shannon? Could Shannon use a little Dr. Jen in her life?
Something that was so frustrating, because at the reunion, I called her out on getting a facelift and they didn't even play that part, right? And I'm like, because Andy asked me, he goes, who in this room have you not treated that you think has good work? And I was like, Shannon, you look very lifted today. And she's like, yeah, I had a facelift. I'm like, and lipo. She goes, no. I go, no, and lipo and a facelift, we can see. So I think they edited it to not have it sound that way, but that's what happened. But I think she looks great now. I think she looks amazing. I think last year I feel bad for her because it's not her fault, but whoever she went to overfilled her for sure. And that's not, nobody wants to be overfilled. Well, no one I know.
No, you don't want to be overfilled. I've been overfilled before, and it's shocking if they edited it. I don't know if people know Shannon had a facelift. I don't know if that's a known thing.
Yeah, that happened on the reunion, but I don't know if they actually included that clip or not.
Interesting.
And then he's like, you can tell she had a facelift. I'm like, hello, this is what I do every day. Yes.
You can tell. Do you think in any world, because there was a lot of talk about it, like, you know, like with New York City, like they just scrapped everyone and started over. There's a whole new cast they're trying to, do you think the OC should do that? You know, there was a lot of talk that this past season was off. The season before with Elizabeth Vargas was off. I mean, I'm not saying it's because of Elizabeth. Is this thing out there that the past 2 seasons of the OC are just like not hitting it. Do you think in any world they should do what New York's doing and just scrap the whole thing and start over?
I think it should be the exact opposite, actually. The season that Elizabeth was on, that was COVID. I think that is unfortunate for everybody. But no, I think that actually, as much as some of the cast members I didn't prefer, I think they should keep the cast, because it gives you a time, like you put in these new people and then you take them out, and you put in new people and you take them out. It doesn't give the viewers or the cast time to like marinate, get to know each other, actually have conflict and resolution. You know, like you need some stability with it. It's like it's almost like if you keep dating someone every 2 weeks, you're not going to ever have success. You're just going to have like a rotating door. Like you have to stay, get to know them, and figure it out. And because I would say the exact opposite, personally.
So you think bringing Tamra and Alexis back is a good idea?
I think that if you're not going to keep the same cast and let that work itself out, then bringing in old housewives, not old, but older past housewives back in is probably the better idea. But my first idea would be keep who you have. You know what I mean? It's just like this constant switch out. Well, of course it's not going to be good.
It's not usually good. Anything I didn't cover here today that you want to bring up? I like to give people a chance at the end. I mean, you know, you're kind of like, in a way, it's better to be a 1 season wonder than 2 seasons. There is this badge of honor for being a 1 season wonder, you know?
Was I a wonder?
You're going to go on this now. Listen, I think this is my prediction of what the hell do I know? I think this will happen, but I think they should do a girls trip eventually of like 1 season wonders. There's a lot of people to choose from.
That's fun. That would be a good time. I would love to go. I mean, I would love to do something like in the medical world with the housewives, you know, like either they come in and I fix their faces, or we talk about new cosmetics, or we look at other people. I mean, judging bad cosmetic work is my favorite thing to do in the world. So, I mean, I don't know what that would look like, but that would be really fun for me. I would love that.
Is there anyone like in Hollywood that just comes to like the top of your mind that you would love to get your hands on? Like you say, like you like to judge work, like just of like, I could do better.
Denise Richards, because she hasn't done anything, right? She's very adamant that she doesn't do anything. You could just lift here and it would look so good. She's so beautiful. You could just, so good. I would love to treat her. I would love it. And it would be so natural.
That's a good one.
I look at her face, I'm like, it's so easy. We could just lift it. It would be so good.
And do you think like the rest of it is all natural? Like she hasn't done anything?
I don't know about her. Like, what do you mean, hair and body?
Or just like her face? Like, does she do like injectables or?
She says she does not, right? So she says she doesn't do any work. I don't know. I definitely can see where we could do work, like here on the eyes. I mean, she's such a gorgeous woman that I'd love to do that.
She's insane gorgeous.